Some very massive events just unfolded for Roman Reigns, so we'll see what's new there. We'll also check out what's new for the Street Profits, the Wyatts, and more. Starting things off with Roman Reigns and those big events that just unfolded for him. Roman faced off against Bronson Reed at Clash in Paris, which was a very hard-hitting match. Not only did he get the win, he also got revenge on Paul Heyman. As Heyman was checking on Bronson Reed after the match, Roman snuck into the ring to confront Paul Heyman. As usual, Paul Heyman tried to acknowledge Roman and to apologize to him, and Roman wasn't buying it. Roman took back his 2 stolen pairs of sneakers and took out Paul Heyman in the process. Roman then jumps on the commentary table to sign his sneakers and starts tossing them into the crowd. Just a real feel-good type of ending for Roman's night. He won the match, got revenge on Paul Heyman, and got his stolen property back. Everything was just going his way on that night. But here's the moment where things really flipped on its head for Roman Reigns. As Roman was tossing the sneakers, Braun Breaker appeared out of nowhere to spear Roman through the commentary table. Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker would then go on to beat Roman down for what felt like an eternity. Non-stop big moves to Roman Reigns all throughout the beatdown. Even after Roman was strapped into the stretcher, Reed and Breaker didn't slow down at all with their attack. It was one of the most brutal and intense beatdowns that WWE has seen in quite some time. Jey Uso tried his best to make the save, but he ended up being the second victim of the attack as well. This beatdown led to some massive consequences for Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. Adam Pearce kicked them out of the arena and threatened to suspend them indefinitely without pay if they showed their faces again for the rest of the night at Clash in Paris. So what was the purpose of this entire massively long beatdown? Well, the reasoning and purpose for this segment was to write Roman Reigns off of television for a mighty long time. That's why there was so much emphasis on this beatdown. That's why it was so brutal. It was all meant to explain why we won't see Roman Reigns again for a long time. It's because of that exact beatdown right there from Clash in Paris that's going to explain why Roman vanishes. Roman is now leaving to film scenes for the Street Fighter movie, and there's no exact time frame for when he'll make his return. Reports have been claiming that the entire month of September appears to be dedicated to filming for Roman, so that appears to be fully scratched off for any hope to return in the month of September. So although nothing's confirmed right now for Roman's return, it does appear to be safe to assume that Roman will at least have a role in November's Survivor Series event. Survivor Series is one of the big 3 WWE shows of the year, and Roman usually doesn't miss any of those top 3 events, so he'll most likely be a part of that card. So maybe that's the time frame for his return, maybe a few weeks out from Survivor Series event, with him taking part of the card itself. But that is just speculation, nothing of that's been confirmed as of this moment. But what is confirmed is that whenever Roman does make his return, he'll most definitely continue to feud with Seth Rollins and The Vision. Just look at the massive beatdown that they just laid onto Roman Reigns. There's no way that Roman returns and just puts that beatdown behind him and moves on to the next person. It looks like The Vision will very much be Roman's immediate first target to come after the very same night that he returns. And with the way they've been handling it with Roman, it does look like he's going to take them on one by one. So with him already defending Bronson Reed, it looks like the next logical singles opponent for Roman Reigns would be Braun Breaker. And that has been a pretty big dream match that fans have been discussing for years now, and it finally seems like a strong chance of happening once Roman does make his upcoming return. And maybe once Roman gets Breaker out of the way, maybe that finally clears the road for him to come after Seth Rollins. It definitely is looking like a slow-burning story, and that Roman versus Seth singles match is at least several months away from happening. But until then, Roman will most likely try to pick up the members of The Vision off one by one. So definitely don't expect a return from Roman in the immediate future, but maybe once October or November starts to roll around, maybe a return conversation for Roman would make more sense right around then. Uncle Howdy recently did a lot of talking about some big stories and narrative comments to the Wyatt 6, and it looks like we're finally starting to see the beginning of that. On a recent edition of SmackDown, Bo Dallas walked around backstage as his regular self, and he was testing the tag teams in the division, pointing out their flaws and how they're not as close as they claim to be. And one of the teams he approached with this idea was the Street Profits. Bo left them on SmackDown with some serious questions about their brotherhood and if they could really trust each other. And on the Clash in Paris kickoff show, we saw Bo's word might have triggered something with Montez and Angelo's heads. During that pre-match interview, B-Fab and Angelo said some words, but Montez Ford remained completely silent and didn't say a single word, which is extremely out of the ordinary for Montez Ford. He usually always has something to say, always throws in a joke or adds hype before a match. So to get complete silence from him was the first sign of the night that something was off. And even in the video package for the match, Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Six continue to poke holes in their relationship of the Street Profits, saying that they're not a family unit, the same way that the Wyatts are, and it's only a matter of time before their egos get in the way and make their team implode. And funny enough, we saw a lot of those things unfold during the tag team titles match at Clash in Paris. Lots of miscommunication issues between the Street Profits all night long, even moments of them hard tagging in and out of the match. WWE has done this type of thing before with the Street Profits of teasing their split from each other, but the last few times they've hinted at it, the breakup never happened. But now they're once again hinting at a split for the Street Profits that's being instigated by Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Six. Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins appear to now be at war with each other, and this time around, this really could lead to their full split from each other. Although everyone loves them as a duo, they've never been seen at all as single stars in WWE, since they've literally been tag team partners since their earliest days in WWE. So even after a near decade with WWE, we've never really seen at all what a solo Montez Ford or a solo Angelo Dawkins looks like. So that is an exciting part of this breakup, getting to see what those two turn into as single stars. But for Uncle Howdy, this may be the big plan and big scheme for the Wyatt Six. Not only do they want to keep control over the tag team division by holding the titles, but Howdy may want to literally destroy the tag team division one team at a time. Howdy may instigate the current relationships of all the SmackDown tag teams and try to get them to turn on each other and implode. That's what he did with the Street Profits, and so far, everything appears to be going to plan there. Montez and Angelo are falling apart with each other. So, if the plan is a success with the Street Profits, we may see Howdy continue to use a similar tactic on every tag team on SmackDown to try to get them to betray each other. It's a sick plan and a twisted plan for Howdy to want to ruin people's close friendships, but it's a fitting tactic for Howdy's type of character. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.